Welcome to another episode of Let Us Cast. I'm Andrew. With me, as always, is Bruce.
Hey man, how's it going? How's it going?
It's going all right, man. We got a couple guests here today, man. Too. It's awesome.
We sure do. We sure do. Welcome, fellas.
Yeah. So we got awesome. So we got Ryan on the on my. I don't know if it's probably gonna be the same for everybody's screen. Ryan is on the right, and we got the infamous Chris Ritchie on the left.
That's right. Well, video recording too, so y'all can see me acting full. Okay, that's exciting.
I mean, your antics are more visual, anyways. So let's here.
Yeah. I mean, you're right.
I mean, you really don't get the antics of a Roadrunner cartoon by just listening to the audio of it. So
that's right. It's a lot more white hair now, but the antics are still there. So much more white hair.
So I got to tell this story, man. So I actually almost flew out to Las Vegas yesterday. So, and I'll ask you guys this too, but I'll tell the story and then I'll ask you a question. But so talking to my brother the other day, he's like, "Hey, man, I have an extra ticket to go see Billy Joel in Las Vegas at the stadium on Saturday. Can you make it down?" And I'm like,
so the answer is yes.
The answer is if I can afford it. So my plan was like, all right, if I buy a plane ticket, I fly down Saturday morning, go down to the concert, fly back, take a fucking red eye back on Sunday. I can come back and I can do this thing. This is gonna be awesome. So I start looking. Well, yeah. So I start looking for flights, and there were none available for like Spirit Airlines or anything like that out of Boston or Providence. So I was like, oh shit, that's right. I have fucking vouchers for Southwest. I can just use those. And even if I use those vouchers, it was still going to cost me about $600 to $650 to fly out there.
Oh, America!
That's even with my fucking credits.
Dang, dude.
Yeah, it'll be $1,700. Get fucked. Oh, cool.
Yeah, pretty much every other flight line was just pretty much like, yeah, it's going to cost like $1,400 or $1,300 because it's going to be like $700 one way. And I was like, oh fuck, this is going to kick my ass. So I missed out on seeing fucking Billy Joel, man. And that, like, Billy Joel is like the top of my fucking bucket list as far as like concerts that I want to see.
Is he still doing a residency at MSG or no?
Yes, he is.
Right on.
They basically said the deal of like, look, he's going to do this until we either say, okay, we're done with it, or he wants to just retire.
Yeah. I mean, wouldn't it kind of make more sense to go see him in New York than Las Vegas? I mean, Las Vegas is Las Vegas, but like...
I mean, Las Vegas is Las Vegas.
Geographically speaking, doesn't it make more sense to go see him in New York?
I mean, it does, but it's...
You could take a commuter rail to New York.
Yeah,
but it's also the thing of like my brother saying, hey, I have a free ticket to go see Billy Joel. All you have to do is get out here.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh yeah.
So don't get me wrong. Do I want to see Billy Joel? Yeah, I'll probably go see him at Madison Square Garden eventually, but that's gonna take time. But like, as far as you guys, like, who's like your number one on your like bucket list of people that you want to see before they retire?
Dude, I don't know. That's a hard question because I honestly I've seen some. We were talking a little bit off air before we started about like concerts that we've seen and best ones that we've seen. Like I've already seen some really awesome shows. Like I got to see Rush twice on Vapor Trails and then on R40, and I got to see Roger Waters come and do The Wall. So I don't really know, honestly. That's a tough question.
Yeah, that's a very tough question. Yeah, I got to see Rush for the Clockwork Angels tour. I mean, I've seen Ringo Starr's All Star Band. I mean, there's definitely been a couple I've seen. I mean, I would love to see David Gilmour and Roger Waters on stage together, but I don't think that's ever gonna happen.
Yeah,
probably not.
Unless you were in London, what, like a year or two ago, or whatever it was, a couple of years ago. Actually, yeah, that was like back in 2010, I think. So that was like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
It was like one show that Gilmour was there for, but that was it.
Yeah.
And now they're fighting even more than they have been before, it seems. So.
Yeah, so that kind of puts a damper on that one.
A little bit.
What about you, Chris? Anybody you want to like? Who's like the act that you would want to see?
I mean,
That's
you're gonna love this
live
because
here.
I know you're a big fan, Andy. It'd probably be Led Zeppelin. And then I would have loved to have fucking seen Chris Cornell.
Mm.
But
Oh yeah, Chris Cornell would have been a good one too.
yeah, but yeah, Led Zeppelin would be cool.
You know, I actually just thought of
working-
Tool. I would love to see Tool. I've never seen Tool.
Yeah, working at Levy restaurants, being in the stadium. I mean, I did get to see snippets of like really cool shows. Like, as much as Neil Diamond, like I throw him off a fucking bridge for Sweet Caroline. His show was really fucking cool. I mean, I think he was fucking 80. He was on his 50th anniversary tour, and he literally, the show started at 8. And he just fucking walked out on stage and like, ooh, that was it. Where he was like, fuck my checks, fuck warming up, like, I'm Neil Diamond, bitch. And he just grabbed the microphone and just like went to fucking town. But yeah, the Foo Fighters was cool to see. Like I said, working at the stadium, I did get to see like some kind of cool shit and not pay for it. But I mean, I also had to work and deal with people.
Yeah.
When did you get to see
Fleetwood
the
Mac
Foo
was-
Fighters, Chris?
Huh?
When did you get to see the Foo Fighters? Like, what year was that?
Oh God. I would say probably about 3 years ago.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
David brought a fucking kid up on stage and let the kid play guitar. And like it was really fucking cool. Like they play a couple songs and then he would just like talk about cool shit and then they'd go and fucking jam again. Like it was a really cool concert.
That's cool.
John Mayer was actually pretty good because he can actually fucking play guitar really fucking well. What the fuck else? I don't know. There was a whole bunch of concerts that I got to see. Yeah, that was one of the few perks to that job. I mean, we got to see Kenny Chesney and a whole bunch of other country music people play at fucking Chase Field. That was crazy to see all the chairs set up all over the place and everything. But yeah,
Right on.
that's about all I got to say about that.
I think probably the best concert I've been to since moving out here has got to be Steel Panther.
Nice.
That would be
That
cool.
just-
I still have yet to
That
see that.
was amazing. Although close second had to be Tom Kiefer band. That was amazing.
Fuck yes, dude.
I mean, he still even with all the different surgeries he had and everything, he still sounds exactly the same.
Fucking
Probably don't mess up the recording. No pressure.
yeah, man. Like
everywhere.
yeah, I can vouch for Ryan. Like I saw Tom Kiefer years ago. The last tour of Cinderella. Hi, Amy. So, but yeah, so I saw Tom Kiefer the last tour that they did with Cinderella, and then I saw his solo show at Mohegan Sun at the Wolf Den. And both shows, man, fucking incredible. So yes, Tom Kiefer, damn well worth the money.
Oh, it's not hold back at all.
No,
No, he sings balls to the wall the entire night. It was amazing.
oh yeah.
Yeah, dude, I gotta say, like you taking me to a bunch of kick-ass shows, Andy. Fucking the Eric Martin show was actually probably one of the coolest fucking shows that I've ever been to because it was literally just in a fucking bar with like 100 other people and we all got fucking hammered and it was a great time.
Those
I
shows
don't
really
think-
are the best where you're just at some bar. Like one of my favorite bands, like this indie band, the Murdochs, came to Boston one time and it was literally like nobody was there to see them. It was literally like me and 5 other people in the audience. But like that was one of the best shows that I've ever seen because like you said, it's a small little bar. It's a band that you really like. Or even if you don't really like them, like the atmosphere is really where it's at. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But it was really funny. Like the funny part of that show was, so it's after Eric Martin's done performing and whatnot, and people lining up, take a picture with him, get some autographs and whatnot. Chris and I line up. We're gonna meet him and whatnot. Shake his hands. Hey man, it was a great show and whatnot. So we approach him. He's like, "There's my boys." Puts an arm around each one of us and take a picture. He's like, "We call ourselves the Unfuckables." I was like, God damn! Like, I just looked at him. I said, I don't have an argument for you. So that was cool. Kind of got personally roasted by Eric Martin. That was fucking awesome. Actually,
yeah, that was super fucking cool.
Yeah, like, and like, the cool part too is like Bruce and I actually went to go see Eric Martin. What was it, a couple of weeks ago, actually?
Yeah, up in New
Okay.
Hampshire.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was a good show, man.
an acoustic show too, which was pretty interesting.
Yeah, it was cool. Like they played like different stuff. Like they played some of his solo stuff. They played some like some Mr. Big stuff, some Trickster stuff.
Yeah, because wasn't the dude playing with him in Trickster?
Yeah, he was in Trickster, and I think I remember right. If I remember right, I think he's actually in Fozzy now too.
Oh, really?
I think so, but
Okay, Fozzy. Chris Jericho kicking ass and recording albums. No big deal. It's fine.
yeah. So, but yeah, man, like those are some of like the coolest concerts, like fucking ever. I'm trying to think, what was another cool like concert story? So, all right. So I got this. So, me, our buddy Perkins, and my goofus ex brother, whatever. We went to go see the band Dope up in what was it, Leominster? It was a place called Club Liquid up in Leominster, Massachusetts. And show goes great and whatnot. Some of the opening acts and whatever, fine. Dope comes on, they kick ass, and then we're out by the parking lot just meeting with the band and whatnot. And the drummer Racy is signing autographs. He's like, "Hey guys," he's looking at pretty much everybody there. He's like, "Just do me a favor, just keep a lookout for a quick second." We're like, "Keep a lookout for what?" Next thing we know, he's gone. We're like, what the hell was that about? Next thing we know, there he is, like just storming out of the club with like 2 cases of fucking Pabst Blue Ribbon. I was like, I think he's fine. Oh man, that was.
I have a pretty cool story about Flyleaf. Not as cool as them stealing beer, but I do have a pretty cool story about Flyleaf.
What do you got, man?
So Liz and I went to see. It was actually like Evanescence, Disturbed, Nonpoint, and Flyleaf. I think was the lineup for the show, and we're in between bands, and Liz and I go up to the area to get like food or whatever, use the bathroom in between bands, and Flyleaf had like just got done playing, and so we're up there, and like we literally like ran right into the entire band. Like they rounded the corner and they were like right there, nobody around them or anything, and so like their merch table was nearby, so we like kind of scrambled to quickly buy a CD, and I got them to sign, like every single one of them to sign the CD real quick. The dude actually, like when he opened the CD, he broke the case of it, so like he was in such a rush, he was like snap, and then they signed it, and it was like, oh man, that's cool. We just met Flyleaf kind of by accident. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's always a happy accident.
Yeah, like literally practically ran into, like literally rounded the corners, like, oh shit, there's Lacey, like, hey, how's it going? Like little 4-foot Lacey.
That kind of reminds me in the sense of Bruce, you were with me for this one. I forget what WWE event it was, but I remember you and Liz went with me, and like we're just rounding the corner to like go up the stairs and whatnot, and there, like by the top of the stairs, is Rob Van Dam talking to John Cena's dad.
Oh, I think that was that Night of Champions, maybe? Because I think that's the only one that all 3 of us went together. So maybe it wasn't.
I think it was Night of Champions, because that was CM Punk versus John Cena in the main event there.
Yeah. When he wore the Yankee stripes on his tights, which was awesome.
That was awesome.
Yeah. Perfect heat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Just, it's almost. I'd say it's almost cheap heat, but
Well, yeah, but
it's like we know. I mean, that kind of begs the question, because Bruce and I were also talking about this afterward, like after the phone call yesterday. Like, if you were to meet, like, who's like that one celebrity that if you met them, you would just be like, holy fuck, I don't know what to say right now. I'm like you're just starstruck by them. So I think everybody's got like that one person who's just like,
For me, like we talked about, it'd be Dave Grohl. If I met Dave Grohl, I think I would just literally shit myself. Like, because I mean, Nirvana was the band that got me to play guitar, right? So, like, obviously, I can't meet Kurt. Liz actually met Chris at a music store, which makes me insanely jealous. But, like, if I met Dave Grohl, I would probably just lose my shit. Literally.
Hey, hell, hey, who knows? You might run into him at like a coffee shop or bookstore or something like that. Who knows?
You never know.
You never know. But yeah, I think. Trying to think. For me, it's like, I mean, I've met a lot of good fucking people and whatnot. It would probably, like, for me, it would probably be Billy Joel. Because like I met CM Punk, I didn't mark out. I've met Bret Hart, I didn't mark out. Wink. Look at you, Bruce.
You met Ric Flair, you didn't mark out.
Chris help me move.
A second time and actually be prepared for it this time and not think I'm helping somebody move. I am in like shitty clothing.
Yo, same here. That's what he did to me with Bret Hart. So he's like, hey, can you come help me clean the basement? I show up wearing like this ratty t-shirt, ratty jeans and shit. And then we end up going to meet Bret Hart. I'm like, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, not like I'm dressing to impress or anything, but I at least, look better than a slob that like some homeless guy that he found on the street. Like, hey, you want to come meet Bret Hart? You got nothing better to do? Here's a sandwich and a ticket to meet Bret Hart, like.
Here's some boots and a sandwich.
Boots and a sandwich and a Bret Hart for your trouble.
Yeah.
I'm sorry you're homeless.
Oh, are you going to wear a fucking tux to meet him? Jesus, man.
Yeah, I finally found out. I was saying, I was like, oh, I look like a fucking hobo. Cool.
Yeah. Fresh off the train.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like your watch. I have fucking holes all over my jeans, and I look like shit.
Yeah, but that's what you'd be like the bizarro Ric Flair, like, woo, my boots cost less than your autograph.
I just picture like Ric Flair or Bret Hart being like, what is this, Make-A-Wish Day? Like, what the hell's going on here? Like, who are these people you're bringing to me? Like,
to be fair, Bret took time to talk to you too.
I didn't know this was a charity event. Like, what the fuck, man?
yeah, really.
Shit. I don't know. I think for me, it might be Roger Waters.
Mm.
That'd be so.
He's such an imposing figure, too. Like, I could totally see myself being speechless if I ran into him.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I can see that, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and Pink Floyd has been such a foundational kind of band for me too. So I mean, his lyrics have meant so much to me personally. So yeah, I don't know what I would say if I actually saw him in person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that's the thing too. It's like, you work it up in your head like, this is what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say hi. I'm gonna like. To be fair as well, like Bruce, like when I took you to meet Bret Hart, like you had like 0 seconds to think about like, what the fuck am I gonna say to this guy?
Yeah, and it's so much so that I even like I told you, like, he was asking me things that I remember, and I got shit wrong like constantly. And I felt like in hindsight I was like, wow, I'm such an idiot. But like, you kind of set me up, dude. You kind of set me up for failure.
That wasn't the point of doing it. Set you up for failure.
Oh sure. I'm gonna spring Billy Joel on you and see what you remember. Like, oh, I loved your album. What was it called? The Strangler? Like,
yeah. All I remember is shitting my pants. That's it.
He touched my hand.
What was my favorite song? We didn't start the fire, I guess. Like, no, wait, that's not it. Shit. Hang on. Can I have a minute? Can I phone a friend?
Well, hang on, let's be fair about this whole Bret Hart thing, because like I was talking to your fiance about that for months, just going like, hey, do you think he would like this? Hey,
Oh, so it's really her fault too. Cool. No, I'm just kidding.
I was gonna say, man, if I'm going down, I'm bringing her with me. God damn it.
Throwing people under the bus, no big deal.
Gotta be honest. But no, we talked for months, just going like, all right, do you think Bruce would want to do this? Like, Bret Hart, loves Bret Hart, blah blah blah. Oh, it'd be really cool that Bruce has this picture from when he was a kid. He went to a live event, and like he's holding up like a Bret Hart sign, and his Bret Hart just like raising his fist down, like, yeah, all right, I acknowledge you. So we thought, like, oh, how cool would that be if if Bruce got to meet Bret and get that signed. So we thought that would be a cool thing.
Oh, it was. I mean, that's the thing. Like we talked about, like meeting people, you'd be speechless. But honestly, I don't really think anything could compare to that, because that's a pretty unique thing of like having that picture, you know, where he acknowledged my sign, like me personally, and then he signs it and shit. Like that's pretty awesome. I mean, it's not like I have a picture of like, you know, Dave Grohl acknowledging me and I'd be like, hey, could you sign this? Or, you know, in your case, like, do you have a picture of Roger Waters being like, hey man, way to go? Like, no, like that's such a unique thing that like, you know, it's a once in a lifetime, if that thing.
But years later, I'm going to say my friend set me up to fail.
Yes. Yes.
What a dick.
Remember when you set me up to fail in front of one of my idols? You bastard. Well, one of the most embarrassing things was he was like, you know, where was this picture taken? And I was just so dumbfounded. I was like I couldn't even remember. And I think I blurted out like Madison Square Garden, which isn't right. It was like, you know, somewhere in Boston or Lowell or something like that. And I was like, because I mean, I've seen him in a few different places. That's the other thing too, is like I was just bereft of any intelligent thought.
No, but I mean, it was still cool that like, you know, you're thinking like, oh shit, I'm dressed like shit to go meet Bret Hart. He's still time. He's still talking to you like, hey, where was this picture taken? That's
well, I mean, where's he gonna go? Let's be honest, you know. It's not like he's gonna be like, oh, look at this guy, I'm out of here. Or, you know, security. Which is more likely.
I mean, that's probably a little more accurate, yeah, but still.
Well, I mean, you know, picture, you know, him seeing you, seeing me, like walking up, like, okay, security, you know, I don't know where this is going, but it's not going to be good.
Just starts acting like a Karen, like just sees us walking, like not even walking towards him, just like walking like in like near the area where he is like, security, get him out of here. Those two, get him out. Did they do anything wrong? Look at them. Like, look at them.
Yeah. The thing you should think too is that like, yeah, that was a freaking amazing moment in your life, but like that happens to him every day.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Like, where did this?
Bruce left us. What the hell happened?
Oh, sorry,
dude.
guys. Sorry. I pressed a button I shouldn't have pressed. I don't really know what I pressed, but I pressed a button I shouldn't have done pressed.
Well, don't do that shit again.
I will try.
But no, man, it's you know, that kind of goes to like the principal thing of like, you know, if you're a celebrity or you're well known and whatnot, give people their moment, because like to you it's not gonna, you know, it may not mean anything, but it's gonna mean the world to them.
Exactly.
So I mean, Bret,
I mean, my thoughts are, it's like if you don't do it for them, what are you doing it for?
Exactly. You know.
Yeah, so like, yeah, granted, Bret probably forgot about that encounter like 5 seconds after we left the table, but you know what, Bruce, you still fucking remember it. So
And we're talking about it right now.
Yeah.
Yep. See it.
Although there are plenty of incidences too where people will tell you like, don't meet your idols, because, you know, you catch, the thing is like they're just people at the end of the day, and they're susceptible to bad days and jet lag and all the stuff that comes along with being a celebrity. So like, you know, you might catch somebody on a really bad day or at a really bad time, and they might be total dicks to you. And then it's like, well, shit, you know, this person who I really love and admire is apparently an asshole. It's like, well, no, not really. They just, they're like you, they have a bad day.
Yeah. Which I mean, that's fair, but
yeah,
I don't know. It's also like for every like person that I've met where it's like, you know, don't meet your heroes and whatnot. Those people have been very, very few and far between. Like I can say, like, in all honesty, I think like 2 people out of like the hundreds that I've met, like only 2 of them were dicks.
Is one of them Lou Ferrigno?
Yes.
I thought so.
That's not exactly a meet your hero moment. That's more like, hey, let's get a picture. Ah, this is funny.
Hey, I saw this.
Whatever. We can talk about Lou Ferrigno. He's not going to hear about it. jack off.
Shit.
Anyways, but like the other one was Don Dokken. It's like I wasn't like a mega fan of Dokken, but I was like, I kind of like, I dig Dream Warriors. I like, some of the early stuff and whatnot. It's cool. So there was a meet and greet. They were doing a concert. It was Sebastian Bach opening up, Dokken, and then Poison was the headliner at the Mohegan Sun Arena. So yeah, so they said there was like a CD store that used to be there. I think it's gone now, but they're like, hey, if you buy a copy of the album, you can meet the band afterwards and get it signed and whatnot. I was like, fuck yeah! So I bought Sebastian Bach's CD there. I bought Dokken's CD there. Sebastian Bach was fucking awesome. Like, taking care of everybody, like personalizing all the autographs. Hey man, thanks for coming out. And like I told Sebastian and I told Don Dokken the same thing. I said, I'm really sorry I couldn't afford to come and see the show tonight. I'm kind of in between jobs right now, but I at least wanted to like support you and come out and say hi. And Sebastian was like, hey man, I really appreciate that. I hope you land on your feet, man. So Sebastian was cool, man. Don, on the other hand, I tell him that, he's just rolling his eyes like, this fucking guy. So it's like, dude, instantly lost a fan in that moment. So it's like, like I'm at least coming out on supporting you in this sense of like, I'm buying your.
Yeah, you took the effort and the time to like be there and buy a CD and fucking stand in line and like,
dude, first chance I got rid of that fucking CD. Like there was a guy that I was working with in radio. Like he was working down in promotions, and we would talk about like 80s bands all the time. And like, oh man, Hanoi Rocks are fucking awesome. I love Motley Crue. I love this guy. Start naming off bands and shit. And I was like, dude, are you a fan of Dokken at all? He's like, yeah, I fucking love Dokken. Like, great. Here you go. he's
why? Something for you, bro.
He's looking at. He's like, dude, this is autographed. You sure you want to give it to me? I'm like, yeah. Just take it. I do not want it.
Fuck that.
Don Dokken was an asshole. It's so. I mean, just like in the grand scheme of things, it's not. I think it is partially like who do you meet?
Well, I mean, like Bruce was saying, at the end of the day, they are all humans, and I mean, fucking human beings are assholes too.
Yeah, some of them just are.
So some of them are just fucking dicks. Like, I'll never understand why, like Major League Baseball players and like professional athletes that are not down with signing autographs. Like, bro, these people, the same thing. Like, they paid to fucking come to a building to watch you play and do these things.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Especially little kids. Yeah, that's the part that really blows. Especially little kids. I could see adults, but like a little kid that's all excited, like this is his first time going to an event, and one of the stars he's been watching on TV forever absolutely blows him off.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crushing right there.
Yeah, just walk right by and just fucking stonewall them. Just not even gonna look up, not even gonna acknowledge, that there's literally fucking hundreds of people here to see you. Like, bro, yeah, that's fucked up.
Yeah, and that is fucked up. But I mean, there's a lot of like athletes that, they'll go the extra mile. Like if a kid's hit with like a foul ball or something like that, a player will just send them like an autographed bat or something like that and say, get well soon, whoever.
Well, Timmy.
I bet Chris would know the answer to this because I know you're a big baseball guy. Wasn't there a ball player who like literally he hit a foul ball and like really injured some kid and like he like went to the stands and like helped the kid and stuff?
Oh, Jim Rice.
Yeah.
Jim
I think it was
Rice.
Jim Rice. Yeah, he like almost killed the kid.
He ran out into the stands, and yeah, he ended up having the team doctors come and check out the kid and sent the kid out in an ambulance.
Yeah, I think he ended up saving the kid's life and like all kinds of shit. Yeah,
I think the kid got hit in the head.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely going above and beyond. But,
Yeah.
I mean, that kind of shit is cool. Because there are athletes that the other end of the scale, they fucking do all kinds of shit. Like, LeBron is a fucking bitch, but he does spend his money like giving back to the fucking community and stuff like that. So, there are plenty. Albert Pujols is big on that kind of shit too. So yeah, I mean, there are people that acknowledge like, hey, I'm big shit. Let me do some kind of fucking good with it.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, there's also videos of like if you watch like if you follow like the NHL's Facebook page, for example, you see like kids will bring a sign like, hey, I'll trade whoever their player is, I'll trade you candy for an autographed stick, and like the player will come over, skate over, just like, all right, I want that one, comes over, autographs a stick, tosses it over, and they get candy in return. Or like a kid will go to a hockey game like, I finally beat cancer or whatnot, like a player will see that, go to the bench, autograph a stick, toss it over to him. So I love like the NHL like players will do that.
I say, yeah, the NHL players are like a whole different fucking breed. Just between like stuff like that, the fact that like a lot of them play until they're like fucking 47 years old.
Or until they're
they
practically
do-
dead, like people breaking legs and stuff, or nearly having their head
Yep.
cut off in the ice and shit, and they still play. It's like a baseball player gets like a splinter and he's like, I'm out of here. It's like, guys.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
there was a player for the Dallas Stars years ago, like went into cardiac arrest on the bench, like just came off the ice, goes into cardiac arrest on the bench. He's being wheeled out to like go to the hospital and whatnot. He comes back and he's like, when am I going back on the ice? And they're like, dude, you're going to the fucking hospital.
Now
Yeah,
that's
put me back.
testicular fortitude.
Yeah.
No, that's just like that's just like that's more stubborn than anything. I don't, testicular fortitude aside, like, yeah, okay, that's commendable. You want to go back on the ice, but it's like, dude, you just went into cardiac arrest here.
Yeah. You might want to dial it back just a little bit.
Appreciate the
let us do our
enthusiasm and
job.
all, but
Yes, the enthusiasm is commendable here, but
Yeah, but it ain't effort. Yeah.
it reminds me of this meme that came out years ago. It was one of those. It was like two pictures. The top part was Justin Bieber, like just saying, "I'm sorry, everybody, I have to cancel the concert. I have a cold." And beneath that was a picture of Zach Wilde just like shredding his guitar. His fingers are bloody. There's blood all over the guitar. He goes, "Yeah, that's cute, kid."
Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking Zach. It'd be cool to meet Zach Wilde too, man.
That would be cool to meet Zach Wild.
Like he's one of those guys. Like he's done like so many things in his life. It's like I would literally go to pay him just like hear him tell these stories.
Just, yep. Here's $50. Tell me.
Like you want to play guitar too? Yeah, like all right, you want to play guitar too? Like go for it.
Yep. It has to start with, we were in a bar. We were in a bar, and then
No, there's like I know he's got a book out and whatnot. And there's a bunch of stories in there, like, but I want to hear the stories of him like playing baseball with like condiments in the backstage area of Ozfest with Chris Jericho. Like I want to hear those stories, man. Like,
Oh my God.
just tell me something ridiculous.
yeah, let me hear about like the recording sessions where like somebody would like piss in a jar, put it off to the side for like 3 days, and it would just stink up the whole studio. Like I want to hear those fucking stories, man.
I'm sure he's got a lot of good Aussie stories.
He
done
must
with
have
those.
awesome good Ozzy stories because he definitely played for quite a few Ozzy albums after he went solo. So he must have some good ones.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's got to. I mean, I don't know if any of them will top the story of Motley Crue had about him, but I mean, Jesus Christ, it's kind of tough to top. Like, how do you top a story about Ozzy Osbourne like snorting up his own piss and snorting up a line of ants? Like, how do you? It's like, well, how do you top that story? Like, I mean, I got nothing.
I don't know. Yeah, that's a good one.
Like, why the hell did he snort ants? We're out of cocaine.
Yeah, we here had plenty of ants, no cocaine. No, it's fine.
I mean, it's almost like pro wrestling in the sense of like the backstage stories are like more interesting than what happens on the stage.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh shit, the hummingbird.
I mean, like the story of like Ultimate Warrior like trying to force WWE to buy like 1 million copies of his comic book, you know, and promoting dexterity or whatever the fuck that word was. Like that to me is such a like that to me is such that is such like that to me is like it's so much more interesting than any storyline or any match he ever had on TV.
Well, to be fair, his matches were what, like 1 minute at the most on a
If
good
that.
day?
If
Usually, yeah.
And 45 seconds of that 1 minute involved him running to the stage and running around and shaking ropes violently and running and running and more running.
Yep.
So many violent gyrations. I mean, the shit was off, Jay.
Yeah. This is the effect of 60 balls of cocaine right before you go out to a wrestling match.
One full hefty bag, 56 gallons of cocaine.
Just imagine him like I can just imagine him like diving into a bag of cocaine like he's fucking Bugs Bunny or shit.
Scrooge McDuck swimming in cocaine.
Scrooge
He's got his cocaine vault like Scrooge McDuck.
Allegedly.
Yeah, the face paint and just laced with cocaine so it just seeps into his body. That's it.
I wouldn't be surprised.
All right, so along the lines of what we were talking about, what is either a sporting event or concert, if you could pick any time, like in history, what would be something that you guys would go to?
Shit.
I'd probably have to go with a Nirvana show, because obviously I was around long after I was old enough to see them live, so I'd probably go see a Nirvana concert.
See, I don't know, man. There's a bunch of like stuff that I would want to go and see. Like, I'd want to see like Kiss at like the height of their popularity back in the 70s, like 76, like the Left Gun tour. I'd love to see like Aerosmith playing like a small club and just going like, man, this is fucking awesome. These guys are gonna be great. Like there's so many like moments in the Devil's history. Like I'd love to go back to like the year 2000 when they meet what was it, the Anaheim Ducks for the Stanley Cup, and it like went 7 games. It was like Broder versus Jaguar and whatnot. Like I'd love to fucking see those like in person. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. There's just so fucking many.
Yeah.
That I would go and see.
I would also pick Bill Hicks. I would have loved to seen Bill Hicks.
Oh, Bill Hicks. God, that you got that right.
Yeah.
George Carlin.
I can't help but like, especially when I look around at shit today, like I can't help but think like, what would Bill Hicks say about this kind of shit today? Like, I can only imagine he would have some doozies.
I would have to think so.
I mean, dude, him and George Carlin would be interesting to see. Like, what would they say about society today?
Mm.
I'm trying to think who else. I mean, Richard Pryor would be cool to go and see.
The band, The Last Waltz.
Never heard them.
You don't know the band?
Wait, The Last Waltz?
Oh yeah, The Last Waltz.
No. Can't say I've ever heard of them.
It's a concert by the band.
You know
Okay.
the band who did the song "The Wait."
The
Well,
band.
Well, you know the band, the band.
What?
Goddamn, pal.
I mean, they're a band, and there's a singer and a guitar player. I'm assuming there's a drummer, and
They play
No, I
concert.
was just think I was never aware of or really a fan of like the band. So
Okay.
I never knew him. So, but no, like trying to think what else would have been like really fucking cool. Like
Frank Zappa.
Oh my god. Yeah, that would have been cool to see.
Yeah.
WrestleMania 13 in person. See Bret Hart versus Steve Austin.
That would have been pretty
I mean,
awesome.
Yeah.
I mean,
WrestleMania 6 to see the Battle of Cocaine.
I mean, you're probably gonna be saying this, Andy, but I mean, I would have loved to have seen like all of those games for the 2004 Red Sox.
Just to be in Fenway Park with all that going on. Oh my god, it must have been fucking insane.
Mm.
I mean, I watched all those games on TV, but I mean, to actually like be there, that would have been insane.
Nah,
Going
fucking Fenway, fucking.
to see it in an atmosphere like that must have been fucking like so great.
Yeah.
No, yeah, like I said, man, there's so many of those moments where you're just like, man, I would have given like my left nut to go to see that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Jordan's first like comeback to the NBA. I would have loved to have been there for that.
Oh my god, yeah, yup.
Woodstock to see Hendrix, Star Spangled Banner and Carlos Santana.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, be able to see the Doors in concert. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, I would have loved to have gone to like Los Angeles in 1994 and go to the pitch meeting for Space Jam and just be like, no, guys, let's not do this. There's no need for it. Like, Jordan, yes, he can play basketball. He can do that aspect of it. But as far as acting, like, let's not say we thought about doing it as a goof.
Yeah, he didn't even do a good job of playing Michael Jordan.
I only saw that movie recently, and I don't even remember why, but I think it came up between like Liz and I, and she's like, "You've never seen Space Jam?" And I was like, "No, I mean, I was a kid in the '90s, but it just eluded me for whatever reason. I mean, I like Looney Tunes. I wasn't really big into basketball, but it's just not really my jam. No pun intended."
And then just after watching that movie, you're just going, "Man, fucking
Why?
Looney Tunes."
Well, the animation was good. That's about the best I could say.
No, the only good part about it was a good paycheck for Billy West. So, other than that, man, it's like there was no reason for it.
Jordan's arm really long and stretchy at the end.
Spoiler, motherfucker.
Yeah. For a movie over 20 years old. Over 40 years old. Dang. I'm still one of those people, I feel like the 90s was like, 10, 20 years ago. I don't know. It's just I can't get over the fact of how long ago it was. It's crazy.
It's not only that, man, but like just think about like all like the bad movies that kind of came out during that time. There was like that. There was like Battlefield Earth, Batman, and it was like, man, we're kind of in dark times with cinema right now. Like, this sucks.
Yeah, there were some bad movies in the 90s. I mean, God, that Power Rangers movie that came out when we were kids too. Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
So bad.
Lord. Now I do kind of want to get your reactions on something because we haven't talked about this story yet since it kind of broke, but there is a Futurama revival that's happening on Hulu. And like all of the original cast has signed up for it except for John DiMaggio, who does the voice of Bender and like a couple other characters on that show. Now he's been pretty open about like why he's not coming back, basically saying like, look, like we know the show is going to be a hit. We know that people are going to love it. Like people still come up to us today and talk about the show. And we want to get paid well for our time. And, because we contribute to it in this way, like we bring this to life. And, I'm on his side with this. It's like, guys, like pay him the fucking money. And he's even come out and said like, look, I'm not saying I deserve more money. He's like, I think we all deserve more money for this. And I gotta say, he's right on it.
I tend to agree. I mean, yes, the animators also play a big part in it, but I mean, the voice actors are the ones that bring those characters to life. That's what makes the show.
Yeah. It's like just picture those characters like with other voices. I don't think it would work out so well.
Microphone too. I mean, it's not an easy thing to do.
No, I mean, like you see videos of like voice actors and whatnot, and like Kevin Conroy, for example, like recording lines for Batman. Like, all right, Kevin, we kind of need this a little bit lower on this one. No one is safe here. No one is. All right, we need kind of like a longer pause on that one. No one is safe here. No one is. And like,
Oh yeah,
you're trying to like just nail it like just right.
yeah.
And especially when
Yeah,
you're talking
like-
about a show that like that has already existed, like Futurama. Obviously, you said it's obviously a reboot, right? So like if the characters have already existed and it's already a pre-existing thing, to replace those characters, those voices, like you just, even if it's really close. I mean, we even had Mike Judge come back and voice Beavis and Butthead again, and even that, like because of the the effect of time, things were just a little bit different, and your ears kind of go like, it's not quite right. Like it just doesn't quite work unless you captured it again, you know.
definitely- Right. I mean, if they even tried to replace him as a voice actor, meaning DiMaggio, I don't understand how that's even gonna work.
Yeah.
I just don't think that the reboot would even be well at that point.
I mean,
Yeah.
unless it's like a big like publicity stunt, like it's all like a fucking work to try and get it over and whatnot. Like, I mean, that very well could be the case of like, hey, we got people talking about it now. It's like, yeah, guys, like, whether this is true or not, like, don't fuck around with this.
That's kind of like conspiracy level territory, though. Like with the whole like people thinking that Sonic, like they intentionally made it terrible so that they could get advertisement for Sonic. It's like I think they just sucked initially, personally, but that's just me.
Yeah.
Well, that was the thing that was infuriating too, because they're like, well, we want to add like realism to this. It's like, well, tell me what's realistic about a fucking anthropomorphic hedgehog in the human world that's fucking realistic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing realistic. Like you're basing this movie off of a video game. You're just like, forget about realism. Like let's just be accurate to the fucking source material here. Fucking bastards. Sorry. Sequel looks like it's gonna be good though.
It does, yeah. Well, it's got my favorite character in it, so I'm sold.
Well, yeah. I mean, you kind of caught like a glimpse of him in the first movie, but like it wasn't like actually Knuckles. But
Yeah.
I remember you and I went to the theater to go and see that. Like I saw it for the second time, and you're just like, dude, is Knuckles in this? Well, fucking spoilers or not, I do.
I want to, be prepared so that my judgment is tempered. I don't want to fan rage on this. Like, there's no Knuckles. We riot. Like, I'm not one of those people.
That's who you'd mark out. Like if you saw Knuckles.
Yeah, yeah. That's my celebrity, man. If I ever met Knuckles, dude, forget it. Dude, you were awesome in Sonic versus Knuckles. Climbing the wall. Holy shit, you were red, dude. Yes, I am.
Oh, I love you for that. Yeah, the sequel looks like it's gonna be good, but here's a question we can kind of end up on, then we can kind of wrap everything up. But let's just say you're in charge of a movie studio. You have access to whatever intellectual property you want, and like you can make it animated, you can make it live action, whatever you want to do, it's fine. Like, what property would you make a live action or animated movie of?
I already know the answer to that, and you probably already know what I'm going to say, Andy. But I want to see Ron Perlman play Hellboy in Hellboy 3. I want to see that that trilogy end. I want to see it. I was so excited going to the theater to see the second one, and I mean, it ended so amazingly, and they left it so open, and then nothing.
Yeah. I mean, I would probably go with that, but I'm also like, all right, like I know what's gonna make fucking $100 million at the fucking bank is if you do like a CGI live action whatever combo of Bucky O'Hare. Like, you guys know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I just question whether or not it would do box office millions, to use your terms.
No, dude, I'm telling you, like, kids would drag their fucking parents to see it. Parents would see it based on nostalgic value, and it's basically Star Wars with animals.
That's true. I mean, we do
Like,
kind of live in like nostalgia world these days, so yeah, that is a
Exactly. So it's
factor
like,
for
you know,
sure.
Yeah, so it's like, how do you fucking go wrong with that one? But yes, fucking Hellboy 3 with Ron Perlman. Yes, yes,
That
yes.
is long overdue. Long overdue.
Yeah.
He still wants to do it. He
What
doesn't
is
care
the
that he's old
holdup
now,
then?
he's
Like, what's stopping them from doing it?
Del Toro, basically.
Really?
Yeah, he's basically like, I got a lot on my plate, and it's like every time he has like a free slide, he's like, no, I'm gonna make a live action Pinocchio movie, or no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna do this. Like, he basically like flip flops on projects like all the time. It's like, dude, like you have the audience for this. Like, show us.
Mm.
Like if you're the head of a studio, just like, dude, like, look, here's, $125 million. Like, just fucking go do it.
Oh, I know. I would love to see them with like an actual like decent sized budget go and make that movie. That would be amazing.
Yeah, because like I get the first one being like the lower budget because it's like, all right, we're kind of taking a chance here on a little known comic book, and we don't know how it's gonna play out, but it's like it proved to be successful. The sequel was successful. It's got more of an audience on home video and streaming and whatnot. It's like, how do you not make the third one now?
I mean, Perlman made that movie.
I think so.
Yeah, for sure. He injected. I feel like he did like inject a lot of himself into that character.
I think so too.
I mean, that was kind of like the story was like when Del Toro and the creator of Hellboy were like talking about like, who's going to play Hellboy. They're like, all right, say the name on 3. 1, 2, 3. And they both said Ron Perlman. So I was like, all right, well, we at least know who's going to get the part then.
Oh yeah. I can't picture anybody else doing it.
Yeah. I mean, fucking Doug Jones would be down to fucking be Ape Sapien again, like, no problem. It's like, fuck it. Like, it's work. But yeah, it's also like, the studio has to like put up the money for it. Like, Del Toro's got to want to do it. Like, they already know Perlman wants to do it. Like, shit, man. Like, I would love to see fucking Hellboy 3.
Oh yeah.
I saw the Hellboy like reboot, remake, whatever the fuck that was, and no, just no.
I never saw it. I didn't want it to ruin my Hellboy experience.
Yeah, I still have not been able to drag myself to watch it.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, it didn't ruin my Hellboy experience because I'm like, all right, the first 2 movies, they're still there. The animated movies, they're still there. I can still go back. I can still watch them. I can still enjoy them. This one, all right, let me see somebody else's interpretation on this. And it was just, holy shit. Like, you could tell there was like a lot of miscommunication either between the studio and the director or the producers or whoever, but like, you could tell there was like a struggle over like who was going to win like the battle of what, I want this, well, I want that, well, I want this. Like, guys, just calm the fuck down.
You know what I want to see is a sequel to Killer Clowns from Outer Space. We've been teased it, man. It's due. Bring it on, man. Come on.
To be fair, there's like rumor and innuendo's been out there. Like, they want to make the fucking sequel. They were gonna make it into like a mini series, and then they wanted to do like a sequel movie, or they wanted to do something like. But like apparently, like they've wanted to do this, and I don't fucking know what the hell the holdup is on it.
Yeah, I don't know either. But I mean, the Kyoto brothers have actually worked on a lot of stuff since then. Like, they do a lot of like special effects and stuff. They're just not doing their own movies, it seems.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I forget, there was some movie I was watching recently, and I saw their names at the end of it. I was like, the Kyoto brothers, like Killer Clowns guys, did this shit? Like, really? Okay, cool. Good job, guys.
What's funny too is like if you go and watch Ernest Scared Stupid, like you look at the faces of the trolls, like those are just the clowns like recycled.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. The weird part is too, like there's actually an IMDb page for Killer Clowns 2, just called like The Return of the Killer Clowns from Outer Space in 3D or something like that. So it's like, guys, like you've got the IMDb page, like let's do this. Let's do this.
You're so close, right? I mean, you got the IMDb page. What else is left, right?
Yeah, I mean,
A good
financing. I mean, come on.
A good version of what live?
Superman live. I
Oh
would love
yeah.
Yes.
it. Like they have the CGI now to make it happen. Like I know we've talked about this before. Like it just seems like almost every single one of them has come up short somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like I mean, like I want to, like when I watch a Superman movie, like I want to fucking kind of feel that way I felt when I was a kid. Like the tagline for the first movie was, "You'll believe a man can fly." Like I want to fucking believe that again.
Mm.
I want to look up at the screen in fucking wonderment. And like, yeah, granted, Superman didn't even throw a fucking punch in the first movie. It's still fucking golden.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah, the fucking sequel, that holds up too, man. I fucking love that. But like there were things I liked about Man of Steel. There were things I didn't like about Man of Steel. You know, I didn't mind him snapping Zod's neck, because it's like, okay, well, unless he fucking kills somebody, how's he gonna learn that, like, okay, killing is bad? But it's also like one of those things like, all right, well, I mean, that's one of the things that parents can instill in him, like, hey, don't kill anybody, because I mean, you know. But it's also, it's like, you know, what storylines do you bring to the big screen now? Because it's like you can't really do Death of Superman anymore, because it's like that's already been done like several times now.
Oh yeah.
And it's like those moments, like we're not going to get those back. Like I'm not going to see the Justice League at Superman's funeral. I'm not going to see, you know, the pallbearers like bringing his casket to his final resting place. Like I'm not going to see that. But oh no, we'll show you a close up of the casket, and you see these specks of dirt just rising off the casket, and you'll know he's coming back. It's like, well, dude, no, I want to see the fucking Eradicator. I want to see fucking Steel. I want to see Superboy. I want to see fucking Cyborg Superman. I want to see these.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
come on now. You don't want to see that. You want to see Justice League.
You
right?
want to see him when he was a kid. Quote Patton Oswalt. You know the thing you love? You want to see it as a kid? No, I don't.
No, dude, they did even worse. It's like, hey, we're gonna make a new Superman show. It's great. What's it gonna be based on? Well, it's gonna be Superman's grandpa on Krypton. Like, fuck you.
What's next? The story of Superman's sperm? Is that where we're heading now? Like,
I'm assuming like his
Superman in the
sperm,
womb.
like,
Just, you know, every episode is 30 minutes of fucking Superman in incubation.
Yeah, it's like Super Sperm Battle in the Womb or something. It's like I don't
think Marvel has shown that like people will pay to go and see if you do a good job. People that, I mean, everyone for the most part that I've talked, I have talked to very few people that have been like, I hate Marvel movies.
I mean, that's
it may not be your favorite thing on the planet, but like you can go there and you can at least appreciate it.
Yeah,
like,
I'm not even big into comics. Like I'm really not. But those movies all fucking kick ass. So.
Yeah. Because the thing that Marvel did that DC didn't do was that Marvel took its time. Like Marvel's just like, look, we have this storyline. It's going to play out over 10 years. You know, it's going to cost a lot of dollars to make all of these movies. But if we do this right, the payoff is going to be an Avengers movie. Like, we want to do this. Like, Kevin Feige's like, look, I want to make this like one of those big comic books, like the big crossover comic books I used to buy when I was a kid. You know, just see that up on the big screen. You know. And I mean, like, granted, they could have gotten better than fucking Joss Whedon to do it, but I mean, it's kind of besides the point. Fucking jag off. Anyways.
They could do some shit with Spawn from back in the day too.
Yeah, I mean the live action Spawn would be fucking so much better nowadays. Like especially if he's voiced by like Keith David, or what's his name, David Keith, something like that.
I might be alone here, but I honestly kind of like the original Spawn. I didn't think it was that horrible. I mean, it wasn't great, and the CGI was certainly trash. But
like technology and stuff like that, like. Yeah, no, I mean the original back in the day was badass. But...
like John Leguizamo as the clown was pretty awesome, actually. Like of all people to pick for the clown, like
yeah, like he's a good pick for the clown, absolutely. Yeah. But it's like now we have like more technology, we can have, you know, better special effects nowadays, and we can make it better. I mean, just think about the characters in Spawn and tell me Danny DeVito would not be a better clown.
It'd be a more comedic clown, but I don't know about that.
Doing it, but that would be amazing.
Like, tell me you wouldn't at least like put your money down on the counter and just say, you know, I'm at least curious. I want to see how this goes.
Seriously. Yep, I would totally watch him do it.
You know, it would be like if Knuckles was voiced by like Arnold Schwarzenegger. You're just like, you know what? I'm curious. Let's see how this goes. I mean, how could you not be, man, at that point? But like, the thing I want that I'd love to see him like stop doing though is like just taking characters like nobody really gives a shit about and like we're gonna make a TV show based around them. It's like, who the fuck wants a TV show based around fucking Alfred? Like, I don't care about his fucking backstory. I don't give a shit about that. Like I watch Batman to watch fucking Batman.
He's an important side character, but he's a side character. You don't base a show around him.
Right.
Yeah, like Robin I could see, because at least like, okay, you can at least like show his progression of, you know, from Robin to like Nightwing or his time in like the Teen Titans or something like that. There's at least a way to go with that. It's like Alfred, where the fuck do you go with that?
I think it's just people are so
version of Robin, Red Hood too as well.
Yeah.
I think it's just people are like so bereft of ideas that it's just like we just need some, like, you know, just pick somebody, you know, or either that or just do a reboot and a remake. Like everything these days is either a reboot, a remake, or an offshoot that you really don't care about. We're at that point.
And this is kind of why I loved like the Teen Titans Go to the Movie thing, because they fucking parodied the fuck out of that, because they're just like, you know, they were about to show like this new like Batman movie and they're like, you know, here's some coming attractions, and they did, you know, teaser trailer for like a movie based around Alfred, which was funny enough because then they made the show about Alfred. They did a teaser trailer for the fucking utility belt. They did a teaser trailer for a movie based around the fucking car. It's like, I mean, yeah, they're not wrong here. Like, chances are that's gonna fucking happen.
We're gonna split hairs here.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I know we've talked about it before, Andy, but holy shit, would I love to see them do something with Batman Beyond as a live action.
Yes, absolutely.
And like go like the full on like film noir to make it extra dark.
I mean, it's a Batman movie and it's gonna be fucking dark regardless. I mean, unless fucking Joel Schumacher is making it.
How many times you need to reboot Batman itself? I mean, I probably will watch the new one with Robert Pattinson in it, but I mean, I would so much rather watch Batman Beyond.
See, then it comes up to the interesting question. It's like, well, okay, who do you cast as Bruce Wayne? Who do you cast as, you know, Terry McGinnis? It comes up with those kind of questions, which, I mean, if they do that for like the new Flash movie that's coming out, because they've already said like, yeah, Michael Keaton's coming back as Batman.
I was gonna say, yeah, Michael would be perfect to play old Bruce Wayne. He is old Bruce Wayne now.
Right. Or you could really piss off fans and go with George Clooney as old Bruce Wayne. Like, of all Batmans, you pick George fucking Clooney. Like,
oh no, dude, you got to go fucking Val Kilmer. You really want to?
You can't talk, man. You can't pick. Come on, that's not fair.
Shit, I would see Kevin Conroy play old Bruce Wayne.
That would be awesome.
He actually did in one of the like the DC universe. They did this whole like Crisis on Infinite Earths like storyline with the different shows like Arrow and Flash and Supergirl and whatnot. And like there was one dimension that they go to where Kevin Conroy essentially does play an older Batman. Like he plays Bruce Wayne. Like you see him just walking around in like this almost like bodysuit, like helping him like essentially not fall apart. And then you learn in that storyline that like he killed Superman. It's like
you're like, that's where I draw the line. Yeah, you fuck with Superman, I'm out.
I mean, part of the storyline too was Lex Luthor was like jumping from like universe to universe and like killing the Superman of that universe. So I thought it was really cool that like in one of them they had Brandon Routh like reprising his role as Superman, and he played the Kingdom Come Superman. I was like, fuck yeah, here we go, man! Like he got redemption for this shit. Fucking hell, man. But I think that's going to wrap it up for us this week. Do you guys have anything you want to add? Do you want to plug in anything or?
Crickets.
I don't think so.
Not all at once.
Slow down, guys.
Goddamn, pal.
I mean, we'll totally have to do this again. I at least enjoyed this.
Yeah, this is much needed with me working 600,000 hours a week and not getting days off. It was nice to have a day to just fucking chill and shoot the shit. So
Yeah,
you guys kick ass.
Yeah, I
This
think
is a
you were
good
saying.
time.
Oh, thank you. But yeah, I think you were saying like this is like your first like day off since like Christmas, right?
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah, and that sucks.
How?
Here's my quote: the man can fucking suck it. Yeah, man can fucking suck a fuck.
Ah, well, joke them if they can't take a fuck. Anyways, Bruce, you got anything to plug, man?
No, I mean, if you're interested in guitar lessons, you can always check out my my shit. You can reach me at bgguitar@outlook.com, or you can find me on Facebook. I'm also on the web, but the website's too long for me to recite here, so it'll be in the doobly-doo.
Okay, it'll be in the comment section, or it'll be in the description of the video.
Yeah, it should be.
All right, it should be. All right, awesome.
Should be
So
the
that's-
operative word.
It should be.
Yeah.
If we can get our shit together.
Exactly.
All right, guys, so that's going to do it for us this week. I'm Andrew.
And I'm Bruce.
Ryan, Chris, thank you guys for joining us this week. Hopefully, we are definitely going to have you guys back on here sometime in the future. Just stay cool, and we'll see you again soon, all right?
Sounds
Alrighty.
good. Peace.
Later, guys.
Later, guys.